Hey guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so this is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It is a collective reading, so I do speak in general terms to reach as many people as possible. You have to figure out if and where this best applies to your situation or your life, if at all, right? If it doesn't apply or it doesn't make sense, it doesn't connect, that's fine. It doesn't mean anything's wrong or broken. You just might be working on something different at this time, and that's completely acceptable. If it does make sense, please utilize the video to your best and highest ability, right? For your own highest good, using your own intelligence and intuition first and foremost, always trusting that over anything that I say. Please check that drop-down menu if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about the channel, sort of what decks I'm using, how to follow me on social media, things I want you to think about when utilizing any of my videos. Also, this is created for the last day of the year. This is Friday the 31st, New Year's Eve of December, but it is not solely set for that day. I believe that messages can be timeless, and if you're seeing this video, a day late, a year late, 2 months late, whenever it's showing up in your feed, if you're seeing it and it's making sense, take the reading. Don't worry about the date. Okay? But for those of you that follow along regularly, I will be talking about sort of what we've been seeing throughout the week and those energies that we saw on the Sunday reading, which for those of you that are new that don't know what I'm referencing, you can look at the Sunday weekly underpinning energy is the video that populates in the bottom left-hand corner at the end of the video. Now, after all that's said and done, a couple things that I need from you. This is free content, and I appreciate you guys watching it. I really do. But if you enjoy it for any reason, please hit that thumbs up button. So consider subscribing to the channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video comes out or when I go live. Also, please leave a question or comment if anything baffles you or if you resonate with anything, it makes sense to you. I love reading the comments. I will mark them with a heart just to let you know that I've read them. I will answer some if there are questions and things like that that I can answer. And I'm usually here every morning during the premiere to chat with you in the room as the video goes live. So that's why you would want to subscribe so you get notified when I put the video up. All right, so let's see what's going on. What do the cards want us to know? So our card for today is the King of Swords. Not mad at him. And you know why? First off, I'm going to say this. I love his blue and his purple and his calm, cool, certainty colored blue to me. That's very much certainty blue, right? Or even associated kind of like with Archangel Michael blue, right? I love that his crown, where his crown chakra is kind of beaming there. This is just like off the top of my head what I'm looking at here. No pun intended, right? Because we're looking at off the top of his head, right? But he's in his knowing. He's operating from his higher chakra, right? Or his brain, his intellect. That is swords. Swords is how we communicate. Swords is our thoughts. When we see the king, it's somebody that is sort of, in my opinion, an authority, in charge, has control, has experience with, history with, intelligence about, awareness of his thoughts and how to wield them in a way with like expertise, with an awareness that serves him, right? And others, right? Because kings are oftentimes not only in charge of themselves, but they're in charge of realms, right? So they look out for their disciples isn't the right word, but like their villagers, whatever the word is, right? So in essence, when we're in this position of authority, we are in a position that is empowered, correct? But and we're in a place of intelligence, certainly, with this being the swords variety, right? Where we're using our best intellect or our best analytical thinking is very key with the swords too, right? Where we're not in our emotions, we're not getting too knocked about. I have a tendency as a Pisces to get knocked about in my emotions. this to me, like the message here for me, if I were to take this message myself, it would be telling me that to rise up into my higher chakras and connect to that higher wisdom, that higher knowledge, communicate that, and hold my space, right? Hold my position, keep my thoughts clean, precise, analytical, not too messy. Not the King of Swords doesn't spend time in worry or doubt or fear. He has that sword. He is direct. He is clear. He is calm, right? He is in his knowing. And I like that, right? After we saw yesterday's Ace of Wands, which is this new sort of inspiration of spirit, this would be the alignment of the mind into that space, right? Underneath this, in the Sunday underpinning, right, we have that Tower card. Tower is major arcana, usually indicates big shifts, big changes. Yeah, oftentimes things we can't fight against, right? Things built on faulty foundations or things that are inevitable. And if we struggle against them, we are going to get dragged by them, right? It's that let go or be dragged sort of moment. And to me, when I see this Ace of Wands and I see this King of Swords, this feels like an alignment, a precision, a inspiration of spirit, and a mastery of mind or thought communication that is working in the midst of whatever changes may be going on around us, however big they may feel, however challenging they may be, because that Tower card will represent challenge. But I feel like with the Ace of Wands and this King of Swords, we are good in this challenge. We are good in this shift. We are entering into, even if the Tower is let's say, the end of 2021 for the majority of us and the releasing of that as we go into 2022, we're going in, to me, with these cards feeling empowered, feeling connected, feeling self-assured, right? Inspired, intelligent, not messy Bessies, if that makes any sense at all, right? So I like that, even though we do have, and I'm not ever afraid of the Tower card per se, because I think that the Tower offers us opportunities to learn and grow, and also to see where whatever we're holding on to too tightly that needs to be let go of, it's being sometimes often ripped from us, out from underneath us. With these two cards over the past 2 days, it reassures me that the Tower or the shifts or changes aren't as nasty or as hard or as bad as we think. We're ready for them, and we're ready to, either reestablish ourselves, reposition ourselves, rethink ourselves to a better place. And we do it from a sense of knowing. So this feels very good to me, right? So if there are changes that are taking place around you, don't resist them. Look at them for what they are. Allow them to be, and allow yourself to operate again, like I said, from your highest intuition and intelligence. That is this dude right here. I mean, he would be more intelligence to me, but he also has an intuition, a cunning, a smart, I don't even know what am I trying to explain? Like a sense of experience within him that he utilizes to his advantage, or to his, for his greatest good. Okay. Also, I have to say too that shield is giving me a bit of protection energy, right? That golden shield that's down here. It's also giving me a little bit of a pentacle vibe, but I do feel that we are protected as we move forward into the new year, and we should be celebrating that. So keep that in mind too. Okay. Let's look at the Heal Yourself card and see what this is. Okay. Another 7 energy. So it's card number 34. We have seen 7 happen 3 times in a row in the last 3 days. And I've always said in the last 2 days that 7s to me, numerologically, are about, in my opinion, about making a conscious choice, right? Where we choose to put our thoughts, where we choose to put our focus, our attention is that 7. Right. And yesterday was about the inner child, and the day before was Phoenix rising, right? Like rising up out of the ashes, taking our own sort of spirit and rebuilding or redirecting ourselves. And we saw that. And then the Ace of Wands comes in, and the Ace of Wands is that sort of also had that phoenixy sort of vibe to it. And again, we see these two like eagles branching off here. There's some sort of expansion, like in a more broader spectrum here. I feel like these birds, phoenixes, all of this energy is sort of like coming off of us ideally, but we need to consciously choose to steer ourselves away from the sadnesses, the dramas. Turn like it like from a very basic standpoint, like my head is saying, turn off the news of the world around you if you can, and choose to be in this space of knowing rather than allowing other things to kind of affect us or take away from us the empowering feeling that I get from this Ace of Wands and this King of Swords, right? And that's that tower moment that might be playing out underneath. It could be the leaving of the year. It could be what's going on dynamically around us in the environment around us via the news or our friends or our family. We need to be aware of the conscious choice, the number 7, of what are we doing while this is going on around us? Are we choosing to heal ourselves and keep the focus on ourselves and keep ourselves grounded, or are we choosing to get caught up in it? This guy is giving me weird, weird, kinky vibes. This deck is a little bit strange for a self-healing deck. These women are very eroticized. I don't know. I'm not, I'm one for having fun and being playful and innuendo and potty humor and all that. So none of that bothers me, but it's just so strange. She feels so sexualized to me. And then that creepy guy with the bird mask. But we maybe have to make a conscious choice to not sink down into those things that want to bog us down, or those things that want to maybe steer us towards like, let's go into 2022 in absolute shit fear or entrapped in or stuck in this situation. I don't feel like we feel stuck. I feel like the situation may be changing and we have a position that we can hold from this King of Swords and the Ace of Wands that allows us to feel empowered while those changes take place. But we have to consciously choose to be in that position, right? So let me read Entrapment because it is a new card to us. It's interesting we saw 7s. We saw 7s. Wait, I think we saw 7s 4 days in a row. Because Pride was also a number 7 card. So that's interesting. I feel like we've saw quite a bit of 7, like conscious choice energy this week. So let me get to 34. 1 second, please. Where's 34? Entrapment. You are letting too many things in your environment control your life. You've drawn this card because it is time for a shift in personal power. You are encouraged to take responsibility for your life and choose new ways of thinking that create change. And that's new ways of thinking. Mind you, we have the King of Swords there. Swords rules what? The world of thought. The king is in charge of his thoughts. So you are encouraged to take responsibility for your life and choose new ways of thinking that create change. The reality is that for you to make the changes you want, need, and desire, you need a system, daily discipline, and motivation. As long as you blame outside influences for any circumstances in your life, you are powerless. It's the government, your abusive background, the interest rates, the bank's fault. The system that many ultra successful people use is they read books every day, listen to audios, go to many seminars as they can, practice recognizing others' achievements, and form relationships with like-minded people. Action. Ask yourself, are the people in my life building me up and inspiring me? If not, it is time to take charge and start making change in your environment. Your first step could be cutting out all negative media from your daily life. What did I say about shut off the news, guys? And here's that could be the tower change shift that is happening. If there's relationships around us that are not serving us or are a negative influence upon us, we may need to allow them to shift, change, and move out of our lives. And that would be the tower that's happening to us at the end of this year. Another important action could involve changing your diet, cutting out sugar, food with MSG and GMO, and replacing them with fresh organic vegetables. Take a moment and say the following statement to yourself or out aloud. I am in control of my life. Nothing can affect me unless I choose to let it. My thoughts create my reality. Keep repeating this statement until you feel stronger. Eventually, you will believe it. It will help you to make new choices. Remember, your words and self-talk are very powerful in altering your physiology. So, thinking in those terms as we move into 2022, and I like that this is the year end sort of reading because we get to march into 2022 in charge of our thoughts. We'll be starting tomorrow's reading with a new deck, and it'll be interesting to see how these things play out as we move forward into 2022. 2022 is going to be a number 6 year, which will be about hopefully finding any balance that we've been missing through 2021, which was a number 5 year. Fives are always about transitions and change. So to me, this is a welcome sort of tower. This is a welcome shift, but we have to be aware of where we entrap ourselves within our own minds, within our own thoughts, within our own circumstances, and then think our way to better living. Now, let's look to the grounding stone. This is just a principle or energy to ground in. Speaking of energy, it is the word energy, but it is on malachite, which I associate with the heart chakra, right? So although we have this calm, cool blue and certainty of the King of Swords in his mind and in his knowing and being analytical, we are being conscious of our compassion, our heartfelt energy, where our spirit resides, and the fourth chakra as we move through. Like, maybe it's a inventory of the year that's just passed. And as we let go of the things that are no longer working for us, we do that from a space of a higher energy, an uplifted energy, a energy that's based in compassion and love as we release, rather than one that's based in, anything other than that, which would be compassion and love. Let's just keep it focused at that. Let's not invite that other stuff in. That is your forecast. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.